So there was a time when I still do it from time to time, but being that I'm more aware of it, I don't do it as much. But there was a time where when things would happen, I would automatically just flip out and wonder, like, why is this happening? I don't understand. I don't get it. Get into my feelings, get upset. And you know what I realized? That I kept getting in the same type of situations. So it got to a point where it was like, okay, Tamia, instead of you asking, why am I going through this? The question is, what am I supposed to be learning from this? And it was like the Holy Spirit tapping me on my shoulder, like, oh, you finally got it. I know at the present moment when you're going through things, it's kind of hard to be logical, especially if you're an emotional person like me. Yes, this is something that I've worked very hard on, not to allow my emotions to take over the logical side of me, because running off of emotions, I have made a lot of stupid choices and decisions. I have regretted a lot of things, and I've also sometimes assumed stuff that wasn't really happening, but it was like, ooh, it made so much sense to me then, but now it's like, okay, I was wrong. So I know at the present time, you're not going to necessarily ask yourself that question, who is? You're just in that moment. And that's cool. Have your moment. But when you calm down from that, then you do need to ask yourself, like, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to be learning from this? Because I realized when I started asking myself, what am I supposed to be learning from this? As opposed to just being like, Lord, why is this happening to me? Like, I don't understand. I started becoming aware that, okay, the same thing keeps happening to me, so this is a pattern. Okay. Once I start becoming aware that, okay, Lord, you trying to show me something. You're trying to teach me something up out of this so that I don't keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So once I became aware, then I started like just asking myself questions. Like start asking myself questions. Like let's say for example, what if somebody knows how to push your buttons and you constantly getting angry? You need to start asking yourself, like, okay, I notice that when I'm around them and they're talking about X, Y, and Z, this triggers me. Okay, why does that trigger me? Mm, okay, where does that come from? You'll be surprised that when you start asking yourself those questions of what is God trying to teach me, sometimes it will reveal even deeper stuff that's underneath the surface. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times we're surface level where we think it's one thing, but once we start asking ourselves those questions, then it goes even deeper. And it's like, ooh, I never even really thought about that. Once you can get a hold of that, then you start becoming intentional about how you respond. And that's when it comes into effect that you don't want to keep going through the same test. You don't want to keep going through the same lesson, right? So you're going to start being intentional about not doing the same thing. You're going to start coming at a situation in a different way, with a different perspective, with a different attitude, in order to get a different result. I'm telling you, once you really start changing the question of why is this happening to me to what am I supposed to be learning about this, you will save yourself so much time. Like you will save yourself just from making them same choices and decisions, from keep going through the same lessons, from keep going through the same hurt, the same pain. You will just really truly help yourself. So I know there's somebody out there that needs to hear this, because when I say that this was a reoccurring thing, constantly things happening, and it just kept going right over my head. I just kept missing the lesson. I kept missing it until it was like, okay, you know what now? I don't believe in coincidences. So it's like, what are the odds that this just keeps happening? No, it keeps happening because there's something that I'm supposed to be doing so that I don't keep having the same result, so I can start having a different result. So just think about that the next time you feel like you keep going through the same thing, like the same situation, the same thing. When you calm yourself down, then dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. First is awareness. After you become aware and you ask yourself those questions, then you become intentional about moving differently. You put all that together, put it in action, you're going to start having different results.